ក្រមួយមិនបានសំដីពាក្យទន់តិចណីឲ្យញៀនចូលចិត្តខ្ញុំចង់បាក់ឲ្យខ្ទេចបំបែកនៅកំណត់អវិជ្ជមានទាំងឡាយ
feel like it's a storytelling, telling your experience to the audience. So at the moment we start to discuss, I'm talking with the producer to start producing the beat, but it's not enough because we want it to combine with the Khmer traditional instrument.
What was the initial moment or feeling that made you realize that you want to write a song about the Chbab strike? Hi, I'm Mia, and I'm sitting here in the HBS Cambodia office with one of the most influential rappers in Cambodia. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Sangsok Saray. You can call me Saray. I'm a female rapper in Cambodia.
Thank you so much for coming here today.
Thank you.
It's really an honor to be able to talk about your song, Her Voice, and about the story behind it, and maybe also a little bit about your story.
Sure.
The first question that I would like to ask you is, what was the initial moment or feeling that made you realize that you want to write a song about the Chbab strike?
I can say that the first start that I start to do it start from a conversation which been long time ago, and I don't remember what is it, but I remember that I was angry and I feel unjust that women get to be treated in unfair way and carry all the blame. That time that made me so angry that I want to do something. I want to address it, that it's not okay. And then we have like a private discussion with the female influencer and artists to tell about their story, their experience about harassment and violence. The thing is, you always see them in a very high profile, beautiful content, encourage people, but you never hear about their experience, another side of them. So at that moment, they start to share their story about shame, blame, violence, that they never express in their content. And I feel so touched that the story just be told in only the private part that make me feel like, why this woman feel safe to share in this room but not outside. And what I want to create is a safe environment where women can share freely without feel shame or blame, or without feel like if I speak it I will be wrong or something like that. That's why it's the moment that I create that project and to do it.
Yeah. So is it the title Her Voice? It's not only your voice, but basically the voice of all of the women behind
it? We do the voice, collective voice from women for 2 years. From every play, every part. Some of them okay for us to tell what their names, some are not. So we just want to make sure that every woman voice are included, and I will just tell it in my way, artist way, to put it through music, to make it hear louder and amplify their message to the audience.
I feel like when I first listened to the song, you could really hear that power, but also the experience of so many different women in the lyrics.
Yeah, I think if you just listen to the song, it's another thing. But if you see the video, every second, every scene have their own story behind it. And though sometimes it's not included in the lyrics, some part that you see it include in their experience. So we want people to see it through their own thinking, critical thinking, to understand their own way.
Yeah. Do you maybe want to share a little bit more about the creative process of the video?
Yeah, we can. So we start like, I've been telling you, I feel angry, I want to do something. So at that moment, we create about concept. I feel like, why no one ever addressed it in hip hop, in rap? Also rap for me, I feel like it's a storytelling, telling your experience to the audience. So at the moment, we start to discuss, I'm talking with the producer to start producing the beat, but it's not enough because we want it to combine with the Khmer traditional instrument. So we do the collaboration with Métis, which is called Women Drummers in Cambodia. And I'm so glad that we collect all the women and powerful women to join with it. So we put their instrument, we combine it with the hip hop to make it sound beautiful in their own way and unique. And then at the moment I start to create the lyrics with the melody to make the flow like fit with what we want. Some part when I'm doing the lyric, it will come up with some picture that I can see the video at the moment. But some, it's not all. And when the song complete, we do recording, mixing, master, all complete. We start to sit down, talk about the concept, how we want to see this part, this thing. That when I create the storyboard. And then we got developed by our director to do the storyboard, every scene to make it. And the final product, what you see is the video.
Wow.
The final thing.
Okay. Do you feel like there were any key artistic or social influences other than what you already mentioned, like the feeling, the anger, but also maybe some inspirations from other artists that fueled you?
Yeah. I can break it into 3 points. First, it's the story I got inspired by the human story, experience, and their voice.
Yeah.
That's why this thing it comes. Okay? That for the lyric. And the music, I like to use my own unique way to reflect as an artist, what I'm gonna do it. That's why you see in that way how I tell the oppressive part first, and then tell the solution, and then tell how they feel, something like that. And the video, I got inspired by Belle, the contemporary dancer. You see the moment that she moves. She have amazing, beautiful performance to tell you the dark side turn into light. Which is very powerful that you can see her expression, her show from the moment that she move her body without her speaking a word. You understand her pain, and you can see that she a fighter. She fight through it because every scene that you see in the video start from beautiful movement from the family, start from running away from the problem, start from fight through it. Even she got oppressive or whatever. That's the thing that very inspired me, and that's why we create the flower with Cambodia mean a lot. If you're in Westerner or foreigner, you just like ring proposal, but Cambodia we use flower. So to offer merit to something we call kasla. So we want to use that beautiful moment from flower that create a beautiful time, but flower cannot be beautiful forever. So we want to say that you see the tone running around her. Sometimes the beautiful thing have their dark side that can stop her from doing what her choice. So that kind of a lot of things that in the moment that people need to see and understand their own way, that we want them to use their critical thinking instead of telling them obviously what we're talking about.
So then if I watch it as a woman and the lyrics don't resonate to my own experience,
Yes.
then maybe the movement does, and maybe that makes me feel
Yes,
like
that's what I got from some people, some women, that when they see, they say, I feel so connected, I feel so related, and I feel like this is talking about me. Some part of me that see it, but I never bring it up to speak it. But now this song tell everything I want to say. That we got from one of our influencer, Monica Nana, which is so happy, and she was 3 times, she's still crying, and she's telling that, you know, me have the opportunity and stuff. How about another woman? And I still feel the same thing. And I also collect from men's side to see what they're saying. Even they not relate the same way, but they start to realize that this is a lot on women alone. So it's very beautiful to create something that can speak up for women and can make them feel confident to share it.
Move to that side because you mentioned men as well.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to not include the Chbab Pro in the lyrics?
At first, it because it talk about the Chbab Sri, and I flip it. And second, Chbab Pro and Chbab Sri is different issue. Also, the Chbab Pro is not oppressive man the same way Chbab Sri oppressive woman. So that the reason that I want to address the sensitive, the harmful part, they want women to be silent, obey with everything and carry the blame, which is not okay. And I know that some part of the Chbab Sri that in the good purpose want women to be good, but those some part that they forgot to sing the risk of it, the consequence, how women get treated in the public and something. It needs to be changed. That's why we want to break it, and it affects women every day. Even it's been writing long time ago. Even as a woman, you needing support. You got something like, example, you got snake attack at night. They will say, oh, because you hang out at night. Instead of finding support, like, oh, maybe we report the police and stuff, they will blame you for. And it's not just that. The affecting sometimes it's not from your parent, from your family. It can be from your neighbor, from the society, from online. People are judging you without knowing you.
Yeah.
So that thing, they don't know where it come from, but it come from the law that women have to carry on, have to listen, have to accept it without questioning it. That's why we want to make a change, to challenge that expectation that women need to be perfect, because no one perfect. So don't expect her to be perfect to be what you want. She have her own choice to do what she wants.
And with the song, the woman is kind of breaking free of that societal boundaries.
Yeah, and that's also her choice. It's okay that women want to be a housewife, want to be in the kitchen only, but Cambodia used to have the word say, it means they cannot turn their own kitchen.
Yeah.
It means they think, but it's different. Those things maybe fit well with that generation, but not this generation. With women have their own choice, their own freedom to pursue their own dream. They don't need to be in the kitchen all the time. If they choose to be in the kitchen, it's their choice. Of course, we happy for them, but she cannot limit her opportunity, her education by that law. That's why we address it in that way.
Yeah, it's about the freedom of choice.
Yes, to express themselves as well, because in the law some part you can't even walk properly, you can't even laughing hard, and some part even you got abused, you cannot sharing out, because if you bring the shame to the family, you bring the fire to burn your own house. But they forgot that those shame is not women bring it. These people who make that fire, it's not her. That's why in that song I include in the lyric that part to flip it. So I don't need to mention what the quote, what the people say, but I just mention the opposite thing like that in the song. You can check it in the music by itself, include the video. If we saw it, you will see it.
Yeah. Do you want to pick one line of the Chbabsray and explain a little bit further, like you already did right now? But like, why did you include this in the song? Maybe why it was important to you?
It's a lot. It's hard to pick one.
Okay.
But the part that they say that women need to treat the husband like a slave, or quiet them, like to not question, not telling even her own parent, because it brings shame to the family. I think this point is really dangerous, because we see a lot of women got domestic violence and they cannot speak up, they cannot share, they end up too shy because they cannot share, they cannot speak. And some of them really need support with the outside look okay. And I know that they carry a lot of weight that they want to express. So even they don't have to speak up, I hope the song can speak for them, can make them feel like it's not just them alone feel it. So they not feel alone, and they can continue to speak up and stand for themselves. Because our song, we're not about teaching you to be strong, but it's about them to reflect on themselves, and it's only them have themselves. If you see the woman fight through from the vine, we cannot go cut it for her. We don't know their own issue or problems, but we want them to stand strong, speak it up, say it out, because we have them.
Yeah. And maybe sometimes if they don't find their own words, they can say, oh, this song is what I'm feeling.
Yes. That's why we try to make it in that way. Sometimes when you're so stressed, so depressed, you cannot find the solution. But maybe some other people can see it, and maybe they can help, as long as you can share it and you can speak it up. If you keep it more like it doesn't come out and one day it's gonna explode, that's the thing. And we try to do it in the music way. Also try to include the entertaining to have them heal in their own way without us speaking their own tell me what the problem, but for them to understand their own feeling, to find their own solution. Yeah.
That's really, really powerful, very empowering to many, many women, I think. The song will be part of the Asia regional conversations around masculinities across the HBF regional network. And we wanted to ask you which impact are you hoping to achieve, maybe by addressing gender norms with your song, and in what way do you expect your critique or traditional gender roles to encourage men also to rethink and redefine their own roles in society, and how maybe that could also resonate with women's societal roles?
Since the start, our song it proposed on motivate women to speak up, and we never mean to blame anyone or any man, but we want their support. We want to amplify their voice louder to make the world understand her pain, understand what's in it, and let express it out in our own way. And like I mentioned, women alone we cannot make a real change. We also need support from men. So men can join us, allies, supporting shift the mindset from blaming into supporting. I really hope to see by Creative Project, they say, oh, you got snatch your bag, let me help you, instead of like, oh, because of you a woman, because of you hanger. That's the reason we want to shift their mindset, to change that the victim blaming is not okay. They really need your help, they really need your support. So the small thing that you can do just to understand, just to listen to them, it means a lot. Yeah. We want to amplify and make an effect that sometimes when you just give them attention or listen a bit, we really help them, that they feel like they're not alone and they feel like someone listen to me. So they feel like their voice is powerful. That's what we want to empower women to do more.
Do you feel like we only need men to support women in their empowerment, or do you think maybe also men's societal roles need to change?
I mean, for change or not, it's their choice. But I see a lot of good men are not the same as last generation before that always expect wife to do everything for them. A lot of men, they helping and they never think that some stuff or some work is only belong to women. They're having their family because they care. And don't get me wrong, I don't say that everyone are perfect, but I see a lot of change during this generation, which I'm so happy. But we also still have a lot of outdated mindset, which we want them to reflect, to see the positive part of it. Some people even complain, oh, why you have your wife washing the dish? My wife do everything. They proud of it. They don't know that this is wrong. This is the way they choose to treat their own family. So they show their love by having their own wife, housework or something. So they need to reflect that this is okay. Men can do that thing too, and this is very for women. It's very appreciation with men thoughtful and helping them instead of okay, here money, go buy what you want. That means a lot for them. So I feel like the generation change, we break the chain of the generation from oppressive, that we try to be positive. So everyone are equal. Mm-hmm. The man support really important for women, and the woman voice need to speak louder to call those attention back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think, because you talked about the different generations and their different mindsets, do you think there could be dialogues between the generations to maybe write something more progressive than the Chwap Australian, the Chwap Pro, and to have like a new thing that kind of includes old generations but in a progressive way and makes the reflection process that you mentioned?
I think it's important to collect ideas from young generation and old generation, which is very important. I did an interview in the province about the project, which very surprising me. The old generation have the sense of as young generation, just the way they express different.
Okay.
So I'm surprised. I thought they were like, oh, women shouldn't have high education because during their time, they don't get to go to school. But what they say is women should have more education, and they feel regret that they didn't get to study. And they wish to see this kid, this girl, get to school, have the bright future, don't be like them. They always mention that I don't want them to be like me. They feel so regret, and they don't want the next generation to feel the same. I'm so surprised. I thought they are following more the traditional stuff, but their stuff is modern.
Wow.
They're very supportive. Yeah. And even men, all men that I checked with them, and they were like, they call that me krusa. Me it means like female mother of the household, but normally in Cambodia they prefer to the man. But he will say, woman is that. See the future of the family. So what he supported, whatever his daughter want to study, he's supporting it. Even he don't have high education, but he hopefully that she get as much as he can. Which very surprising me to hear from the province with the old generation supporting their own family. Which I think like I will get a lot of negative thought, but which I found it, they have the same thought, just different way they express it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you have thoughts or ideas how men or masculinity can or even needs to be included in the discussion around gender equality? I feel like we already covered a lot of that question. You already mentioned that it's important to look at men's roles as well.
Yeah.
But do you want to add something? You don't have to.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what I can say about that. I myself not a man, but I still believe that everyone voice have their own reason and have their own way, which it's good idea to collect everything we can as long as it's not offensive to another person.
Yeah.
So I cannot say that oh this idea is bad, this idea is good, let's keep it. But sometimes the balance we need to balance it. So even man and woman, we need them together. And man is such a good life to support a woman as a woman. Example, you have your partner, it's so grateful that they can supporting you, which is very helpful to the woman. Women that also encourage them to share their story, their thing. It's so important because some men don't want to hear what the woman thought, but they want them to follow what they want to do, what they want her to be.
Yeah.
That's so important. Yeah.
So we need the conversation, we need
Yes.
space for all voices
Yes.
to be heard.
And sometimes I feel like the oppression not just come from men. Sometimes it can be from some women who have their own mindset in their own way. It's a good thing that if they can see, oh, even men think the same thing, they will kind of, okay, so maybe I'm the problem or something. They can reflect more. So that I think that makes sense.
I think I get it. What message do you hope listeners who fancy traditional values, maybe these women that you just mentioned, or men, or anyone, can take away from the song? Like, have you had conversations about your song with people leaning more towards traditional values?
If you say traditional value, for me, I always have my own unique way by combining hip hop with old traditional, because we want to keep it going and bigger instead of pursue it into one place.
Yeah.
Oh, you cannot take it, you cannot create it. That will die. So I want people to take away the message that women share, to understand her feeling, to amplify her voice, support her, keep the conversation going, to make sure that everyone dare to speak up without blame or shame. That's the best thing that I want that song carry out and tell the audience. Like, I think every country have similar story, even a different issue. So I hope the song will heal them or help them to feel like confident to talk about the issue, the experience that they faced. So I hope that the song will carry out more way to other people who need it, and to amplify their voice more, and can inspire women or men who really need it by hearing the song. And the important thing is keep conversation going. I know the change it cannot make in a short time, but it needs to be regularly make it become tradition or culture to make it more openly.
I think when you mentioned other countries, I also shared the song with my friends.
Okay.
And they were like, they really resonated with a lot of things, even though maybe in the countries that they're from, they don't have the Jabab Stray.
Yeah.
Still like similar social norms that keep them oppressed in a certain way. So,
Yeah. That's why as long as this song can help people, even just one, it is not for me.
Yeah.
And I believe that in Asia we have more relative things that's so similar, but I believe other countries, another side of the world, some of them might have similar experience. We can share what we relate to, and it's so important to talk, to share to people who understanding you.
Since the song's release, what has been the most surprising or rewarding element of feedback you've received?
I can say that I'm surprising myself not get backlash because when you're talking about traditional and with a successful campaign always come with risk. And 99% all positive comment. Which I'm very surprised because we have been prepared a statement, prepared a response, how to answer the question, and we got like 3 negative comments from the teacher, which also worry me how they're gonna teach their own student. Yeah, it's very surprising, and we got a lot of positive feedback from women, from men, commenting that show how powerful the song and how they feel inspired, how they feel like they telling their story without speaking it. But some of them even mentioned that I'm gonna say this to my mom. So it feels like they connect their generation and they want to show it to the old generation to say, this is how I feel. Now let's talk about it. And it's good that they start the conversation in their family, in their society, in their friends, around their environment with what we want to see. And that very surprising that it goes so smooth with that. Even we have some challenging with the engagement issue, but we still make it through to the right people who really need it.
Yeah. Wow. So you kind of reached exactly the impact that you were hoping for.
Yeah, I feel like I'm so proud of the project. I feel like it helped a lot of people to reduce their stress, reduce their limit of the opportunity to share or express themselves. Which I see all the comments are express about them, and the way that they portraying, they were like have the same experience. All this song it make me feel like which you don't ask them, but they show you. It means like okay, they speak up for themselves. Which I think I'm sexy with about. Sorry, a lot of which I'm sexy that they tell me about their feeling. They speak up for what they feel like they should be.
Last question.
Okay.
What is your long-term hope for the song's contribution to the broader conversation about gender equality?
I think I did cover some part. I want the conversation keep going. I want all men, women around the world keep supporting what is positive and what it have to be addressed. Because Chubab Srei, which we call law for women, it should be set fairly by them, or do the research or asking them how they feel without controlling them. Like, oh, the law for you need to be quiet, or you need to be a slave, or you need to be a proper woman, you shouldn't talk back. That's not the law that are controlling that the outdated mindset that you expect her. So I hopefully that even in Cambodia or another country in the world, open their mind and like I mentioned again, shift the mindset of the blaming into support. No matter what the reason is, never blame the victim, try to understand them, and if you cannot have, just listen to them, give them time to speak. Is that answer to the question?
It's a very, very powerful message, I would say. Thank you so much for coming here today and for sharing all of your thoughts. I think there have been some very, very interesting insights as well.
Yeah, I think that's it from me.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
ហើយកូនស្រីស្ងួនលៀងម្ដាយក្រណាំងនាងអាយតាមដោយច្បាប់ស្រីក្រមួយមិនបានសមដីពាក្យទន់តិចណីឲ្យញៀនចូលចិត្ត